everyone, welcome back. This is TT Vlog Part 2. So if you haven't watched the first part, click back on that. It's the previous video to this one. Pretty much this video is going to be about the second half of the race at the TT 2019, which I was lucky enough to win. Yeah, so pretty much second half of the race, it's gonna be obviously some on board to start off with, just a little bit, not a lot, and then obviously going across the finish line into the winner's enclosure, all the press, media, family, all the emotions pretty much as what you will see what I was seeing from my onboard camera and stuff. So yeah, that's what this vlog's going to be about. So yeah, I'm just going to hit play on the video now and let you guys watch the first part of the lap, and then we can get into what I'm thinking about or what's actually going on. Now we're just coming into the end of the lap, which is classed as the nuke part of the track or whatever. There's no real time to be gained here, so you don't rush it or anything. Just try and get through the corners, get out nice and clean, good run onto the start and finish. So realistically now I should be coming in for a pit stop, because this is lap 2 of the 4-lap race. But as I get to this point here now, I realise that it's not, and that's not what's happening. So I'm going to freeze frame. So you can obviously see the guy on the right hand side with the checker flag, and honestly at this point I'm quite confused because obviously I don't know what is fully going on. So when I go down to the end of the pit lane as such now, is what you would class as going into Parc Fermé, the winner's closure, I had no idea whether the race would get restarted. That was classed as a result or anything like that. So we'll just press play again. I'm going quite steadily. I'm probably going steadier than normal into here. I'm slowed right down now. That is just because I'm quite confused, and I was sitting thinking about what has actually happened, or oh, I wonder if somebody's crashed. Well, obviously somebody's crashed. Hopefully they're all right. I wonder what's going to happen now. We're going to have to restart. Sitting around again, whatever time of day it is. All these crazy feelings. So I pulled up now to these guys, and I was like, "What's happened? Is that a result, or is do we know?" And he's like, "Yeah, you've won the race." And honestly, the first guy I asked was screaming or shouting that much that he didn't really even answer me. So I asked the person beside him, and then they told me. So yeah, and I thought, oh, maybe they're confused or whatever. So I'm still riding along at this point now down pit, well, what we class as pit lane, or the return road. And honestly, I still not 100% certain whether I've won the race, whether I was second, because it was really close, whether it was I won or it was second or such like. But as I mentioned earlier, this is obviously Paul Phillips here. You can see in front of me, we'll freeze it again. So he's the guy that tells you roughly what, which position you're in or whatever. And obviously, as you can see, he's signaled #1 to me. So at that point, even now, I feel excited. And here's the team boss and my crew chief, Roger. So yeah, the emotions and stuff at that point are unbelievable when you try to do something for most of your racing life. It's very, very special, and it just shows you the calibre of James Hillier. The first thing he did was come over and congratulate me, and he actually said to me about how special it is to win your first TT. So yeah, it was a really, really special feeling. Obviously Phil, the first guy you see now when I pulled in, has been a massive part of my career. Even when I went to Honda and we've come back and done this and stuff, he's been the one that's been there the whole time to support me, and even with advice, and obviously massively so financially with building the team and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the feelings at this point are something that you could never probably explain until it happens, and that's the biggest thing. Other people that have won TTs and stuff, when they come up and say to you how it feels and stuff, then you actually understand. So here's now all the TV crew. There's Steve Plater coming over to congratulate me. That's Milky there on the right hand side, also a TT winner, and probably the best person to ever explain a TT lap on the internet. But you can see all the press and stuff there now, and the feelings of my family and stuff are just starting to come in, because the lads are obviously still in pit lane. You'll see them in the bottom screen that they've just come down out of the pits, because they were obviously in the pits waiting to do a pit stop and prepared for that to happen, so they couldn't get down straight away. But yeah, the feelings and the emotions are unbelievable. So that is what I felt, or what I was thinking at the time when the race was happening and getting across the line and stuff. And I hope you've enjoyed this as a little bit of an insight to, I know it's not what you see probably on fancily edited videos and stuff, but this is more like a personal insight to what actually happens and what the rider sees and thinks at that time. Thanks.
Welcome back to the Isle of Man TT races, fueled by Monster Energy, where in the Supersport's Lee Johnston took his first victory. Steve Plater was at the finish line.
Well, TT winner. Looks like you got a bit of hay fever.
Oh mate, I don't think I've ever been so glad to see you. In the 2nd of December, 3rd week of December, we had nothing. I mean, no bikes, no truck, no team members, nothing. And to come here and obviously beat sort of to Pete and James fair and square, and it means a lot.